Hello folks, this is Paragon RG and you are watching another daily casted match of Age of Empires 4. In this particular match, we have Carlos Mangson at the top in the blue playing as the Mongols. And in the south, we have Hera in the red playing as the Abbasid Dynasty. And this is Dry Arabia. So you'll see how spaced out. More Carlos Mangson. Yeah, this guy, I don't know who this guy is. I would love to know who this player actually is. He is probably just a duplicate account of somebody. But he's obviously very good. He's something like 7th in the ladder right now. But you can see how spaced out this map is. Not even that much wood on the entire map, really. I mean, it makes sense if it's Arabia. But some dotted areas around here. But basically, each player has 3 vaguely close to their base. And then after that, they will be in tough times. That being said, that's still quite a bit of wood, and the game will likely not get there. So, Hera has his work cut out for him in this match. Why? Because Mongols are just generally very strong, and on open maps, they can't wall, and so other civs, it's sort of an equalizer, right? Because the fact that it's an open map means players are not likely to wall anyway. So that downside from the Mongols is largely mitigated. And just in general, they're so good at applying early pressure that basically if Carlos finds any, like, let's say he really wants Hera off this gold, there's only so much Hera can do about it. He can, now this is close enough to the TC, I'm pretty sure the town center can range someone trying to torch this thing down, but he can also build an outpost here, and he can put spearmen in it, and he can double build those spearmen. Or he can go scouts. He can go professional scouts, build a bunch of them, put them in towers when he needs to for extra arrows. And of course, he'll be very annoying in the meantime with his con. So Carlos Mangson just finding Hera's base now. So as mentioned, Mongols are very good in general. They're probably the best civ in the game, at least at the moment or in the current meta. Hera already moving on. Look at this. So the smart French players, actually, sorry, he's not French. He was French in the last game. He's Abbasid here, but gets 200 gold and moves to the House of Wisdom. So, you know, even if he's driven off gold, he's okay. He got the 200 he needs to click up, and we'll see what he clicks up with in just a second. And it's the economic wing. So this will unlock just a series of upgrades here, the most obvious being, so this column here, the most obvious being fresh foodstuffs, which reduces the cost to produce villagers by 50%. So this allows for 2 town center booms and things like that, and just generally makes your game feel a little smoother. You can let's say reach the castle age more easily while just continuing to make villagers. So definitely being annoying, trying to torch this thing down. I'm not sure if Hera is tested. Oh yeah, I guess the town center has an arrow, so like automatically, so it can't range this. So I was wrong about that. So this is how annoying Mongols can be. Hera already losing this mining camp. So really, really nasty play from Carlos Mangson. The other reason Hera has his work cut out for him is that Abbasid Dynasty are probably the worst civ right now. Delhi has some argument there, but not that you want to fight for worst civ award. Oh, this is so annoying. This is the most annoying play. So I don't know. Like, Abbasid Dynasty have no particular thing going well for them in general, let alone on Dry Arabia. And outposts are cheaper for the Mongols, so you'll see that's why he's sort of working forward with them, driving his opponent off this lumber camp, and Hera is now having to move over here. Looks like he's preemptively putting up an outpost, which is a good idea. Of course, his opponent can still build one back here if he makes it around to that. And is Hera moving to stone? So he may be... Okay, this is probably just for arrow slits so that he can upgrade his outpost, because not only does it allow you to fire arrows without having anyone inside of it, but it increases the range of it as well. So let's see, he pops some villagers in here. Hopefully targeting down those villagers if he can. Looks like Carlos Mangson is headed home, but I am skeptical. Never trust a Mongol player to actually head home. And you can tell he doesn't want to, right? He wants to move around and find another angle from which to attack. And Hera will continue to be on the back foot. Yeah, I'll be honest. This is so annoying. They have to do something about this from the Mongols. They already have so much going for them without this style of play. So what he'll do here, he builds this slightly out of range of this thing. If Hera already had arrow slits, maybe he could prevent this from happening. But he builds this, and then basically he can himself get arrow slits in the feudal age, and then start ranging this area here. So just so incredibly annoying here. The Khan running around, only 2 damage a pop, but definitely being an annoyance. And so if we actually switch to Hera's view, look at his minimap. Look at this. It's just red pings everywhere. All those buildings are getting shot. So Carlos definitely playing, let's just say, the Mongol meta here. In my opinion, the best way to, well, specifics aside, the best thing that could be done for the Mongols, for balance purposes, is to make them more of a cavalry civ. They have to find a way to make them less of a tower and infantry civ. People shouldn't even want to build spears as the Mongols. You should want to make scouts, horsemen, lancers, mangudai, you know, like horse archers, that kind of thing. So a couple archers coming out from Hera, hopefully to push back any villagers that pop out and try to build the next outpost. So Hera actually going for the... Oh, did he? Yeah, so this is arrow slits on this thing. It actually takes out a villager, so that's good work from him. So definitely nice job there from Hera. You want to get those arrow slits early. I think one possible solution is once you see even the first tower going up, you get on stone a little bit, such that you have enough for these upgrades. Does Hera have any other outposts? He does not. So I can't check the upgrade costs right this moment. But, for example, if he was able to build a tower here and get arrow slits on it, there's really no way, at least from this direction, you'd be able to sort of outpost creep it. Hera now adding a battering ram. So this is actually one advantage that the Abbasid have going for them. And they don't need to research siege engineering in order to build battering rams. So you'll notice that there is no blacksmith here from Hera. So this actually makes them uniquely able to, I don't want to say just generally deal with the Mongol tower rush, because it's just really hard to deal with. But it makes them easy to, it gives them the ability to push it back. So yes, it's already happened. A lot of damage has been done. But Hera can hopefully now reclaim some territory here. So, and this thing will kill the towers very, very quickly. The problem is, or one of the problems, oh, and Hera's losing villagers. Nasty, nasty. Did these get upgraded with arrow slits? I think they did. They both did. So that is additional investment going down from Carlos Mangsin. But generally keep in mind, this thing costs 300 wood to produce, and the towers cost 70 wood to make. So you have to kill quite a few towers to really make back that investment. And this tower will go down very quickly, so Hera doing the right thing, and can even just pop into the ram if he doesn't want to take any fire. Tower goes down, the spearmen inside go down as well. So he has at least regained this area for himself. So the question is, can he stabilize? So what's inside of this? See, here's the frustrating thing. Part of what's frustrating with Mongols is that the fact is they can, you know, like if Hera wanted to do the same thing and have a few units shooting out of his outpost, he would probably need villagers. But because the Mongols can double produce spearmen because they can use stone, I know we haven't taken much of a look at Carlos Mangsin's base, but barracks by that OVO means that he can double produce, and it costs basically you use stone, and you spend the same number of resources as all the other total resources to double produce. So 60 food, 20 wood, that's 80 resources. So spend an extra 80 stone, and now you get 2 spearmen. So not only does that produce spearmen faster, but you generate stone passively by just having this OVO. So I think one simple solution as well is give them less wood to start with, so that when they make the OVO, they're not just ahead of the game. But yeah, they have to find a way to make spearmen less desirable, because It's pretty hard. It's much harder to push this thing now because there's spearmen sitting in it, and really no other civ is capable of doing that. This guy's sliding around. You see that? Fantastic visual bug. Okay, so Hera really just taking the, putting the due diligence. Needs to just get in the ram. Just get in the ram. Don't lose archers. I think this is a misplay. This is probably just something he hasn't done a lot of. His ram, I guess, is damaged. So if the spearmen do pop out, potentially the ram could go down pretty quickly. But you want to save your archers here. Every little bit counts. You know you're already behind from all of this. If we look at the resources in the bank for both players, let's quickly take a look. So Carlos Mengson has clicked up to the Castle Age by creating the step readout. This will allow him to drop off gold. 50% more gold when dropped off to this point. So he's almost halfway there. Going up with 9 villagers, so really speeding that up. Hera has clicked up now as well. So where is... Oh, right. Yeah, of course. There's no landmark for the Abbasid Dynasty. But he's going up with the Culture Wing, which is the common second choice after the Economic Wing. Notice he never actually went with any upgrades from here. So he hasn't used any of the capabilities unlocked from his House of Wisdom just yet, unless there are some upgrades on here that he hasn't got. But I think they've all been moved out of here into other buildings. So this will allow him to get... reduced technology costs, but that is still a tech you have to research, and that's part of why the Abbasid are considered a little lower level as a civ, just because you don't even get a specific advantage from teching up. You just unlock a bunch of technology to then research. So it'd be nice if maybe you got the first one as soon as you clicked up to it. Blacksmith coming out from Hera. Interesting. So it looks like a full archer push. He'll probably be going for ranged attack and armor. Doing quite a bit of walling in his base. Okay, that's just a con. We don't have to worry too much about this. Notice now it's up to 12 attack. So as it, as you go through the ages, it goes from 2 damage to 4 damage to 12 damage in the Castle Age. And this thing starts to be able to pick off villagers pretty quickly if you're not careful. Looks like Hera will lose his scout up here, but he does get some important intel that his opponent is going for archers. And there are no upgrades on those archers, which Hera almost undoubtedly saw. Okay, so completing the wall on his side makes me wonder what his plan is here. Is he going to... Yeah, he has clicked up to fresh foodstuffs. So I guess we're going to see maybe another town center. 3rd archery range. Ooh, lots of idols here. Yeah, I'm curious how he's going to make this back. Something to be careful about is that the points for the Mongol player are bugged. So if he picked up that step readout and redeployed it, then it would have added points as if he made it again. So it's a little hard to trust this. That being said, I think he is ahead, and let's check the numbers here. Hera's at 38 economy, so villagers, and 9 military. His opponent is at 44 and 15. So Hera's behind on all fronts and needs to do something to get back into the game. Oh, this is nasty. Carlos Mengson actually just chops down the trees, goes around the wall, and is now inside with lancers. This is so mean. Guys, I can't express how mean Mongol play is right now. Yeah, it's just nasty. And the fact that you can chop through like that, like 10 seconds, went through a single tree, and now he's through the wall. All of that work Hera did. So something has to be done probably to do with that, because otherwise it's pretty easy to just go around people's walls. Or players have to stop walling to tree lines, and you wall like on the outside of the tree line or something like that. So Hera's market going down. Something to note is that the Mongol player, I'll switch to his view for a minute, gets resources every time he torches a building. So it doesn't have to go down, but once it's on fire, he should get 50 wood and 50 gold. Hera now with crossbows, which probably is the right play against these Lancers. I think a lot of these Lancers will go down. He has a Springald as well. I'm not exactly sure why. I think this will go down to the Lancers pretty quickly. Okay, Villager there to repair it. Yeah, did a pretty good job, actually, here at taking out these Lancers, and Carlos Mangson is heading home. So, really, Hera really wants to repair this market. We'll see if he gets there in time. I don't think he will. Market goes down, unfortunately. So, definitely some damage done, but Carlos Mangson also lost quite a few Lancers, and Lancers are not cheap. They're should be about double the price of crossbows. Let us, yeah, so 240 resources against 120. Excellent job there by Hera holding that off. So he did get fresh foodstuffs. We still do not see a second town center out from him. He doesn't have the stone for it. So I wonder if the market was maybe in part to pull that off. Meanwhile, Carlos Mangson is floating in resources. So has the Lancers. Looks like he has a couple of ranged armor upgrades. A couple of ranged attack upgrades, I think, as well. And he is coming forward. Oh no, he's coming forward. He's just moving his blacksmith over here. So his plan here is probably to get the siege engineering, the advanced siege engineering technology. So what this does is allow them to produce siege in the field. So for most civs, that is just rams. But for the Mongols, with the improved version, which is the same, but you also have to spend a bunch of stone on it, they can also produce springalds, traction trebuchets, siege towers, I guess, though you don't see those too often. Ooh, Hera might lose this if he's not careful. Continuing to skirmish over this tower. Nice job with the Mangonel. It's not a lot of damage on knights overall, but definitely Carlos Mangson will not want to push into that Mangonel. And Hera will hopefully have a chance to take out this tower at long last here. So siege engineering is almost in. So what he can do is produce a couple of springalds with his archers in the field, which is incredibly valuable. And then those will be useful at taking out the Mangonel of your opponent. Now, crossbows are surprisingly good at taking out siege. So Hera may be okay against that, but overall, if there's archers and lancers, and Hera's generally outnumbered. Here we go. So we see springalds in the field now from the Mongol player. So far, very solid play from Carlos Mangson. I don't think he'll be able to do any tree chopping shenanigans. Looks like Hera rebuilt. You see that extra segment there. So that has been rebuilt. His base is once again closed off. Mangonel moving a little forward, and he's moved on to a farm economy, which is not ideal, right? Each of these farms cost 75 wood. Sorry. Still hasn't got this tech either, so only minimal advantage from his House of Wisdom in this game. Yeah, only one blacksmith tech in from his well. So mostly just archer or crossbow quantity, Mangonel, and ram. That's kind of what he has going for him. But look at that. It's down already. 4 springalds just take it out in one volley. And Hera is now fully on the back foot. Now, he can get away from these lancers through this gate. So he's going to do that. But these archers can shoot over that wall. So Hera is in a really tough spot. The Mangonel seemed like the right play. The Mongols so easily countering that. They don't even need a siege workshop. So if you see what, when I say that the Mongols are considered the best civ in the game, they have so many advantages. I think one of their advantages is supposed to be that they're very versatile. They can, even just being able to move your buildings opens up all kinds of different ways to play the game. But they're not just versatile, they're also really strong in specific ways. So what it means is that they end up being able to kind of just do everything, except maybe win on water maps. And even then, they're not too bad, because they start with extra wood, so they can get that early dock. Hera now with some springalds, hoping to, snipe his opponent's Mangonel, or potentially win a springald war. Needs to be a little bit careful, and these things zoom. I guess they zoom when the just when the formation's trying to catch up. Yeah, Springles have been nerfed a lot. I mean, that unit would have definitely been dead at a previous patch. Okay, so we do at least see a second town center coming out from Hera, and I wouldn't have minded seeing this earlier. I just don't know what else. Like, he knows he's behind, right? So you have to do something to get back into the game. And walling on its own isn't enough, because you wall, that's resources that you spend and they're not spending. And in fact, he just got through the wall and was able to attack him anyway. Okay, yeah, villagers coming forward to chopper. This is just so annoying. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of this play now. People bringing forward villagers, and then people have to try to kill their opponent's villagers before they chop. Look at that. So he's already through this wall and now is adding towers. We'll see Hera's town center here if he didn't before. Idling the villagers that were there. Ay. Hera in such a rough spot here. Does stop this tower from being completed. That's something. Has 5 Springolds as well, so can possibly compete. Is against 6, but maybe with the right micro can compete in a battle. In a Springold war here, a siege war. His opponent with a Mangonel, though, as well. Meaning Hera won't be able to engage as well as he would like with his crossbows. So Carlos Magson is in with a ton of Lancers. Hera's army is simply outmatched. These crossbows would have to do some pretty amazing work to take out all of these Lancers. And you see they're going down. I mean, they do counter Knights, but the Knights get on top of them, and they will go down. Hera's Springold's going down here now as well. This is just looking so bad for Hera. I would have loved to see this town center earlier, but obviously he felt pressed that he couldn't do that. And Carlos Magson just smashing Hera, just sort of flexing all the different ways that Mongols can outmatch their opponents and win the game. So Carlos Magson beating Hera on Dry Arabia. Mongols against the Abbasid Dynasty. Folks, this has been Paragon RG. Please like and subscribe, and I will catch you next time.